Okay, in this screencast, we're going to talk about web layout. The first thing that I want you to do when we're talking about web layout is um, sketch with pen and paper or pencil some web design. The reason that we start with paper and pencil is um, it's easy. A lot of us aren't familiar with the Illustrator yet, or a lot of you aren't familiar with it, so it's a good idea to start with something easy. If you make a mistake, you can just erase it, and we all know how to draw and write. Um, and it helps to get out some of the kinks. The first couple of drafts probably aren't the best, but then the more that you do, the better that they become. So once you do that, you're going to need to scan those sketches, scan 3 to 5 that you like. And as we can see, mine are right here, 1, 2, 3, my layouts. I've scanned them in. And then we're going to place them into Illustrator. So I'm going to open up Illustrator. No, I already have them in here, but how it happens, this is Illustrator, going to go to New. Okay, for the document profile, I'm going to say Custom. Oh, sorry, the size. This is Custom. And then I'm going to put in 1024 and 768. That's the typical size for a web page. Make sure units are in pixels. And then the title, we can title it Layout. Okay. And then here we have a new document. And now we need to get our sketches in here. So what we're going to do is File, Place, and then click on, this is where I've saved my layouts. And then here's one. Okay, and then we're going to add the other two. Since mine are all separate documents, it's going to do it, I have to do it 3 different times. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here. These are my layers, and I want to add a new layer. So I'm going to do that. And we'll just call it layer 2, that's fine. So what I'm going to do, for my layer 1 right here, I'm going to click this button which locks this, which means that no changes can be made to at this time, and that's good because I'm going to add my layer 2 and I don't want it to overtake layer 1. So we're going to do the same thing, place, and go layout 2, and here's my layout 2. Okay, and then I'm going to lock layout 2 and add a new layer. Okay, that's fine. And then we're going to do the same thing, layout 3. And it's thinking, okay, here's my third layout. Okay, so now they're all in, and that's great. And what we can do to see them is unclick this. And here's my second one, and there's my first one. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back, we're going to go back to layer 1, and I'm going to take the lock off of layer 1 so that I can make a few changes. And what I want to do is I need to rotate this. Obviously the orientation is kind of obnoxious. So we're going to click on this, the selection tool, and I'm going to select all of this. Okay, and then I'm going to click on this, which is my rotation tool, my rotation device, and I want to rotate this. Oh, not so it's upside down. And try to get it as straight as possible. Okay, that's good enough. So that's good. And then I also want to make it bigger, which if I go back to this tool and just go to the corner and make it bigger, and it's just nicer to look at when it's bigger. Okay, so put the lock back on layer 1 and then click on layer 2. So now I have layer 2, and you can see layer 1 is behind this, and that's because I've already changed the orientation of layer 1, but we won't see that after we change layer 2. So take the lock off of layer 2, Again, we're going to highlight this whole area. Okay, and then go to our rotation tool and rotate. Ta-da! Okay, and we're going to make this one bigger. Okay. Perfect. Alright, and then put the lock back on. And then we're going to go to layer 3 and take the lock off. And first we highlight it. Okay. And then rotate. Okay, and then back to the selection tool. Okay, and we'll put the lock back on that one. So now we have our three, these are my three layouts, the ones that I like. And I just want to go through and talk about why I like these, and different things that I like about each one of these. First, if you remember in another video, we talked about the grid and using the grid. And I want to show the grid. What's cool about Illustrator is that you can actually show a grid and see kind of how your layouts match up. So if we go to View and Show Grid, here is the grid. So it's just kind of cool to see how your layout matches up with the grid. Okay, so let's go back to the first one. Okay, here we go. And if you remember when we talked about the modernist view and the movement really was for things to be different and to create order. You know, people don't really read entire text. They like to look, you know, first your eye goes to the title and the introduction and the titles of things, not necessarily the text. And if it interests you, then you read more. So this is a good way to get to have the reader focus their attention, so you're not wasting your time or their time. This makes it so it's searchable and studyable and you can easily find things. It's a good way to just kind of skim over things. And the modernist movement really helped people to see that the white space is really important and can benefit. Everyone can benefit from that. Okay, so let's talk about this sketch here. What I like about this one is that we have the title and then the introduction. So these few things right here at the top, this is the more important, or the most important thing, I should say, on this web page. I feel like one thing I don't like about this is these are just kind of extra buttons, you know, like the about, kind of extra things that I don't necessarily think need to be on the top. Maybe they could be down here. They're not like super important, but their placing tells the reader that they're pretty important. But what I do like is, you know, the title and then the most important, this is the most important thing on the page. And then we have a line here that separates the most important from additional information. And I do like the separation. However, I feel like, you know, they're not as important, but they're still important. There's good things on there. And so I would like to have these maybe, and maybe this line should just go away. Maybe these could be up on the side to tell the reader that there is value and that they are important. I don't know. That's this one. Let's go to layout 2. Okay, so again, we read from left to right, so we're always going to start on this side. This one I do like. We have the title and then the main topic and some text and then a picture to support the text. And I like this because obviously this is the most important part of the page. And then over here we have menu, about, contact, some sublinks and sources. Um, and those are things that the reader doesn't necessarily need to see or read. Um, and so I think I like the separation and the order on this page. And the third one, I like this one. There's a lot of white space around, which I like. Things are concentrated. We have the main title and then some tabs and buttons up at the top, and then the article, and a supporting video. And this one's probably my favorite because there's not really separation. Like, there's order, but it's not unnecessarily separated, I guess I could say. Um, we have the more information tabs at the top, and then the featured article, and there'll be a title where the reader can skim and see if it's something that they would even want to read, or if they don't want to read, they can watch a video. Um, and I like the white space. So there's good order. Um, we're also looking for like grouping, and so I like that the tabs are grouped at the top in a line. Um, and then we're also looking for variety and size. And so, the title would be bigger. This would be bigger, but not as big as the title. The text would be smaller. These would be fairly large. You don't want it all to be the same. You don't want it all to be really small or all to be really big. Variety is really good. Also, we want balance. And what I like about this one is, um, there's not a ton on the top, but I like that the text and the video line up, um, and then the tabs are just on top of that, but it's symmetrical, and I like that about this one. Um, so like I said, we want boundaries and separation, but not too much. Oh, and I like this one just because um, it's not, I'd say there's not, like a physical line here, but there is a boundary, and I like that. So I hope this video has helped you just think about different layouts. Good luck as you make your own. And like I said, make quite a few to see what you like, and good luck with your projects.